ICCR is celebrating its fourth decade, 40th anniversary this year, and I've been asked to talk a little bit about what that anniversary means. As you might be able to see, I'm standing in front of a room full of activists, some of whom have been working in our organization for over 40 years. This organization, by filing the first faith-based shareholder proposal back 40 years ago, really set in motion the movement that's now called the Socially Responsible Investment Movement. During that time, we have covered just about every issue of justice and sustainability known to modern man. We work all over the globe. Our membership has been growing and has expanded to include activists of all kinds, but our roots for the entire 40 years of our history have really been our common faith traditions. Our common faith traditions that allow us to be fearless in our pursuit of justice, fearless in our pursuit of a more sustainable way of practicing business in the world, and fearless in our role as investors who, at the end of the day, need to have our investments grow in just and sustainable ways.
This is something that's natural for ICCR members. They've been at it for 40 years. They've been leaders. Every time there's an important ethical and social issue, ICCR has been at the barricades, in a manner of speaking, whether it's apartheid or child labor or occupational exposures to chemicals, whatever. ICCR members have been there. And so, of course, they would be very, very active participants in the Investor Environmental Health Network, talking to companies, filing resolutions. So, happy birthday, ICCR. Congratulations on a great 40 years, and hopefully there'll be at least 40 more great years.
In thinking about the work that I like to do with ICCR, engaging in so many topics of sustainability, I realized that we're working like a family because so many of the issues are passed across generations. So a work that I might pick up now is the work that has been harvested and sowed for so many years. So I think I admire that about our work, that we're able to share across time and engage together. It's very unusual. I haven't been in the industry this long, but I have the honor of joining those who have been doing this work for twice my lifetime. I want to take this opportunity to congratulate ICCR on its 40 years, and I wish them many, many more, and I hope to be involved for many, many more years. Congratulations.
The General Board of Pension and Health Benefits has been a member of ICCR almost from the beginning. It's very much a part of who we are as an agency, and the work of ICCR has inspired our work for 40 years, just as it inspires the work of so many of our faith communities. I hope it lasts another 40 years to change corporate business practices throughout our world for the better of all of us.
I'm glad to be here to celebrate the 40th anniversary of ICCR. ICCR has pioneered shareholder resolutions, shareholder advocacy in the United States, and everybody in the responsible investing space has been learning from it, from its members. That have created this dialogue with many corporations over these 40 years.
Congratulations, ICCR, on your 40th year anniversary. 40 years really means sustainable, prophetic voice, and we're quite proud to be members of ICCR nearly since its inception, seeking just, sustainable wages, a localized economy, and great support of Earth and her people. Congratulations.
It's a wonderful moment that ICCR is turning 40. ICCR has been the pioneer and the premier and always on the cutting edge, asking the issues on the horizon. So congratulations, ICCR, for the witness and the courage and the vision.
I am thrilled to congratulate ICCR on its 40th anniversary. We have been part of ICCR for umpteen ages, and we have really benefited in so many ways in order to participate in community development and in shareholder advocacy. We know that ICCR is one of the most respected organizations in the United States and in fact in Europe also. And it is a joy for us to say to ICCR, happy 40th anniversary. We will continue to be part of ICCR as long as we are in existence.
I would like to personally thank ICCR for all the years of collaboration, for the excellent interaction we've had with other members, for the knowledge and for the advocacy, and all the excitement and energy that galvanized all the members for all the changes that happened in corporate practices over the past 40 years. I can't believe it's 40 years young already. I look forward to the next 40 years, and thank you so much for including us in your celebration.
So why is it important that ICCR is celebrating its 40th anniversary? It is really the only institution in the United States and probably globally that has been addressing the social, environmental, human rights, sustainability in the planet for 40 years with companies. Everyone, I think, has, in terms of corporate responsibility and social responsible investment movement, has ICCR members, the visionaries in 1971, to really applaud for starting, a process that has helped to transform corporate America.
The great work that ICCR has been doing, the fact that I've been recently joined here as a deputy director, I really looked at all the past work that ICCR has done in the past 10, 20, 30 years and look forward going forward how we're going to develop and even expand more for the next 20 to 40 years.
I am very proud of the history of ICCR, the continuity of the good work from the early days of working on apartheid in South Africa and the Nestle's infant formula campaign to where we are today doing such impactful work on the environment, equal employment opportunities, and human rights, and just a whole plethora of real issues that affect real people in their daily lives and our planet as a whole. And, I hope to be around for the next 40.
A number of ICCR members are investors in our funds, and we became a member about 3 years ago, really to become more familiar with the issues that are important to them. And over the course of those 3 years, I've really come to admire that the members' approach to solving some of the world's most inextricable, most problematic social challenges. And with the persistence that they take with their approach, and really the hard work that they're doing, not only the members but also the staff. So congratulations to really bringing corporate social responsibility into the mainstream over those 4 decades, and best of luck in the next 40 years.
I want to congratulate ICCR on 4 decades of corporate engagement work and having a significant impact on the economy in the United States and enabling investors to really leverage those investments to have a positive influence on corporate America. Congratulations, ICCR.
We just want to congratulate ICCR on 40 years of significant impact in socially responsible investing field. We're wishing you continued success for 40 plus more years. So congratulations.
We're just delightful to celebrate this 40th anniversary. I started working in this work when I was a novice back in 1977. So it's just really thrilling to be part, and we really want to be able to proclaim this work. It's probably one of the best kept secrets of the faith communities, where, at least from the Catholic tradition, this has been a work of such faithfulness to Catholic social teaching and the gospel, the real prophetic word of the gospel.
I'd like to congratulate ICCR for 40 years of excellence in corporate responsibility, leadership, and advocacy. I think it's a testament to the strength of the organization and the passion of its members that ICCR has been able to affect meaningful corporate change for 4 decades, starting with apartheid in South Africa through many different issues, sweatshops in Asia, and global warming, raising awareness about that, and hope ICCR can continue for 40 plus years from here on. So congratulations.
I think the world has been a better place over the last 40 years for having ICCR and its members do the terrific work that they do. I love ICCR because it's so unabashedly focused on morality and ethics and investing, and I think that's a real gap right now. So fantastic, and congratulations. Thank you.
When I think about the number 40, 40 has always been a very important number to me because in Scripture it always means preparation, all right? And so my question to ICCR right now is, what is it we've been prepared for? If you're to take a look at all the work we've been doing, how we've been doing it and so on, what is it we're being prepared for? The important thing that I think we have to pay more attention to is how do we pass on the knowledge that we have to those people who are first coming in, especially the young people, but not only, because this work is intense and it's knowledge specific. Companies know when we don't know what we're talking about or if our knowledge base is really, really short. And so how do we pass this on? This is a real challenge, and it's not just because I'm a teacher, because everybody will say, oh, there she goes again because she's a teacher. So I think those are our two challenges, all right? One is, what have we been prepared for? And second, how do we pass it on?
I'm delighted to be here at the ICCR 40th anniversary celebration. ICCR members have been at the forefront of a number of important corporate responsibility initiatives throughout the years, and I want to learn from this group and participate in the activities that they're involved in. And as a firm that's based mostly in Europe, we also think it's important to link with our collaborators around the world, to have strong links and to learn from them about what's going on in their neck of the woods, and we also want to share the types of things that we're working on. So it's great to be here and celebrate this auspicious occasion, and looking forward to working with ICCR members in the future.
And one of the things that we've always enjoyed about being a member of ICCR is that as a faith-based investor ourselves, we get to connect with other faith-based members. So pushing that moral voice in the corporate boardroom, I think, is very important. And fabulous job on 40 years, ICCR. Congratulations, and here's for the next 40.
Our congregational sponsors have been involved in this work for years and years. We're just keeping that history alive as part of Christus Health. We have probably for 40 years been doing this work. Really, the sisters have been doing it for 100 years or longer than that. So really it's about keeping alive the tradition of bringing justice to the world. What we probably are most proud of is making sure that people have access to health care. That's been at the core of who we are and what we do for years and years. We'll continue being doing that for the next 100 years or for however long it's needed. And we know that healthcare, justice, all of those issues are going to be needed for years and years to come.
We know that as in many of the other issues around workers and trade issues, that those are not going away, that we will be involved in those for a very long time. But we have met with companies over all these years to raise questions about their workers and how they are treated, and problems, and also environmental concerns, and so that will continue. So I congratulate all of us that have been part of the organization from beginning until now. And we are working together, and we will need to work together even more in the future, because these issues that we raise, they're not the most popular, they're not at the top of some of the companies' awarenesses. Sometimes we bring them that awareness, and they then have to look into what is happening in their factories or what is happening in the areas of the world that we're talking about. We're such a network of groups, and we have so many outreaches, and I think that's really what has sustained us over all these years, along with our faith.
Because of ICCR's 40 years history of working with corporations, we've been able to take that concern for human trafficking and interpret it, or look through the lens of what ICCR is able to do with corporations. And therefore we're able to go to corporations and say to them, look at your human rights policy. You know, is it including the issue of human trafficking? And I really look forward to many, many years of working and ICCR work with corporations.
I've been aware of ICCR since its beginnings back in the 70s. So I've been following the progress kind of from the sidelines. I think everything that has been accomplished is just so wonderful. It's so positive. For somebody who works in social justice, There are so many issues I deal with that just seem to have no answer, or we're never going to do anything. But it's great to come here and hear some success stories. So ICCR, you just keep going.
I'm really glad to be here and express my congratulations for 40 years. I've been doing shareholder work for the last decade, and I'm always so impressed with being able to stand on the shoulders of all the folks that have gone before and talked about this shareholder work with corporations. I've also been impressed in the last couple of years of how corporations have really begun to listen to our call, which is based on our faith. Happy anniversary.
This is such important work. It's important that we, as people of faith, of all faiths, speak to the values that give meaning to our lives, values of justice, of peace, of concern for the world that God has made. To the degree that we can keep doing that together, best wishes to ICCR for 40 more years.
It's been my privilege to be involved with ICCR since 1999. In much of the last decade, I've also had the privilege of serving on the board, and I just want to offer ICCR my heartfelt congratulations for 40 years of tremendous ministry, and I look forward to celebrating our successes in the decades ahead. So congratulations and best wishes for the future.
I'm really pleased that ICCR is going to be celebrating 40 years of their advocacy work with corporations. I think we have done, and I say we because I include myself among those, I think we've done a fantastic job in bringing the issues that are necessary to the corporation's attention, and we have made some real differences in what's happening in the corporate community. So I say congratulations, ICCR, on 40 years of fantastic, and continue to be inspired by faith and move to action.
What I've always been impressed with is the commitment of the members and the staff to pursuing issues that others think can't be handled or tackled, or just have other priorities about, particularly if they involve speaking out for the poor and those who have no voice in the corporate boardrooms. So we've been, I think, fellow travelers in trying to bring justice for a lot of people around the world. And at the same time, make all of our investments profitable for our retired clergy, for the mission program of the church, but also to make sure that it promotes the kind of goals and what we believe in. So, all the best on the 40th anniversary. I was not quite at the beginning, but I was pretty close. Okay.
I'm really excited to be here today to celebrate ICCR's 40th anniversary. And when I think back on the 40 years, what immediately comes to mind to me is the phrase, inspired by faith, committed to action. And it's a wonderful phrase that, that explains or describes well the impact that ICCR has had over these past 40 years of really making a difference in the lives of people and the planet and things that are important to all of us. And it's that work that they've done to date is the work that will carry us on the shoulders of all of those who have come before us, will carry us on for the next 40 years. Because we have made great accomplishments in the past 40, but our best days, as they say, are ahead of us.
I've been around for a few years. I'm looking even more forward to the future and the kind of impact we can continue to have in promoting both environmental and social responsibility.
I hope that ICCR does many fulfilling and impactful work throughout the years, and I hope that I'm here to see it. And as we continue on looking at our impact with the hierarchy of change, I hope that I'm here to witness that. And congratulations to ICCR for 40 years of wonderful work.
It's a wonderful occasion to celebrate 40 years. The first items I knew about were plant closings, the issues related to South Africa that went on for years. Became very involved in the J.P. Stevens issues and visited the factories in South Carolina. In addition, we did an awful lot of work on infant formula and passing the World Health Organization's policy on infant formula marketing and sales. any number of issues with banks in the developing countries. A lot of works in the last several years on health issues, maquiladora issues in the 90s. Today we're doing back to health issues. We're dealing with mining companies for a number of years, and Walmart before I was born and when I die, I guess.
If it wasn't for ICCR, we wouldn't be able to do a lot of the work that we do. We wouldn't have the resources, the researchers, the introductions into the companies. And so I'm glad for ICCR for 40 years. I remember way back when the South Africa boycotts and the shareholder actions were happening. And I remember some of the other things about the factories in the United States closing and that kind of thing going on. It seemed like distant things at that time. It seems more distant now, but history is still repeating itself in many ways. So congratulations, ICCR.
ICCR has been a very important part of our community life in the last 40 years, and we've been very grateful for the work they've done, and we've enjoyed working with other communities and other organizations on these very important issues that affect our life and really define how we express our values. I have worked on and off very actively or sometimes rather passively with ICCR, but always been involved. This anniversary, this 40th anniversary, reminds me that 5 years ago I was chair of the board, and that 5 years ago seems in some ways a very long time ago and like it was just yesterday. But as I'm at this meeting, this 40th anniversary AGM, it's very obvious to me that the years of growth, the 5 years of growth, have been like 50 years of hard work. So my congratulations to ICCR for continuing its wonderful traditions over the years, and especially after 40 years.